Hello again from the Horror Academic. Today we're looking at something I don't usually get to do, which is a new movie. So, Color Out of Space, that was last night's movie, and I can definitely give this one a thumbs up. So, Color Out of Space, it's been getting a lot of hype, so I literally just decided to buy it when I heard so much good about it. And I mean, I tend to be a little skeptical about things that get a lot of hype in general, but especially in horror because horror is very much an eye of the beholder kind of thing. If just because you love horror doesn't mean you're gonna love everything everyone else loves, and there's so many subgenres. But this is one that people that I trust that are near and dear were telling me, no, you should watch this. So when we started all this mess of preparing for being isolated, one of our runs, our first run for supplies at Target, they had the movie on sale. So I was like, you know what? I'm just gonna pick it up because we're gonna watch this while we're stuck home, and I'm glad I did. It was very good. It's based on an H.P. Lovecraft story, but like anything based on a Lovecraft story, it's very vaguely based. His stories tend to be very short. So adaptation has to mean fleshing out something that was maybe, I didn't look it up. I read this one like when I was in high school, but probably a story that's maybe 20 to 50 pages tops. So they did flesh it out quite a bit. They added not just kind of the one person reacting; it's an entire family, and essentially it starts out with a family that lives fairly isolated in a farm. Uh, and of course, we are near Miskatonic University, but not too close. It's still a drive to get to it. Um, and one night, this seemingly normal family who's escaped from the city to live in the country, essentially, is kind of their background. Um, there is a crazy storm, lots of bizarre lights, and a meteorite lands in their backyard, or front yard, sorry, front yard. And things start happening once that meteorite falls. I'm not going to give you too much detail. Especially because it's a newer film, I want you guys to go watch it yourself. I believe it's on Shudder and maybe even Netflix right now. Um, just know that Nicolas Cage does an excellent job in this one. This is the same production company that made Mandy, so I remember reading in Fango how they literally approached him on set one day and with a napkin contract. We're like, sign up, please make this movie with us next. And he agreed. It is kind of the comeback film of filmmaker Richard Stanley, who made a lot of indies in the 90s, and then very publicly his career kind of imploded while he was assigned to make Island of Dr. Moreau. But Moreau, I believe he was kicked off of that project within 6 days, and it led to a bit of a breakdown. So he has been essentially missing. It looks like he was still making some indies that we didn't really know about at the time, at least I hadn't heard about in that period, but this is his comeback film, and it's very strong. There's also a lot of talk, and this maybe I'm not as into, is the idea that this is the first time a Lovecraft story has been done right. I'm going to refer you back to my episode on From Beyond, which I've already done online several times when people have had this conversation. I still think From Beyond is one of the greatest examples of how to do a Lovecraft story film. But I will say, um, while most of these things could have been done as physical effects, the last maybe 15-20 minutes are quite spectacular in how they're able to achieve those effects. And it's beautiful to see, as grotesque as it becomes. It's quite beautiful. The use of color obviously is important in this film. As Lovecraft likes to say, this is an undescribable, inhuman color, and they do a good job of that. It's kind of fuchsia or magenta-ish. I'm not sure. It's in the pink spectrum, but they do a good job of making that come to life. The effects get quite out there, as they should in a Lovecraft story. They do that very well. The drama builds. It is essentially, as opposed to most Lovecraft stories, what is one man's descent into madness, this is one family's descent into hell. It really is the deterioration of them individually and it builds. And there is this, it's very subtle. The film is very subtle at first. Very quiet movie for most of it, to be honest. Um, the uh, there are these little moments and little things happening around them that clue you in that something is changing, and you will see in their landscape there are changes. There are subtle differences in their personalities that are very well done. The actors did an excellent job. The little kid was really familiar, and it was really bugging me. So I looked it up as soon as the movie was over, and he was the little kid in Haunting of Hill House, which was an excellent series on Netflix that I hope everyone has watched. Um, Overall, this is a definite win. Excellent film. Glad it's getting all the hype it got. Don't be scared away from it. It is well worth the view, especially if you're like me, if you're a fan of Lovecraftian stories. Um, like I said, the only thing I don't agree with is that this is the best incarnation ever of a Lovecraft story, but it is one of the few that is successful. I will put it that way. And they do a great job. Everyone who loves horror, who loves Lovecraft, who loves quiet horror, who loves supernatural and cosmic horror, check it out. It's excellent. Nick Cage does an amazing job. He is definitely in the past couple years redeeming himself as a real actor again. Um, and I can't tell you enough how much you should watch Color Out of Space. So, see you guys tomorrow, and hope you're having an alright week. See you later.